Hi, grade 4. Today we're going to be talking about adding fractions with unlike denominators. So we're going over vocabulary for fractions again. So we have fraction, so it names a part of a whole. 8/4 is a fraction. Numerator is the top number of a fraction. It tells how many parts in a whole are being considered. So 8 in 8/4 is the numerator. Denominator is the bottom number of a fraction. It tells the total number of equal parts in a whole. So 4 in 8/4 is the denominator. An improper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is greater than its denominator. So 8/4 is an improper fraction. And then today we're going to be talking about common multiples. So a common multiple is a multiple that is common for two or more numbers. For example, 2 and 3's common multiples could be 6 and 12. Because 2 times 3 and 3 times 2 is equal to 6, and 2 times 6 and 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So we have talked about common multiples before when we talked about multiplication and factor trees. So please bear with me. Hopefully you guys remember it, and we'll be using that today. So first we're going to start off with the simple question of 7/15 plus 1/3. So because the denominators are not the same, we can't just add them up just like a regular addition problem. We first have to change the denominator of one of them so that they are the same, so they are equal. So first step is finding the first common multiple. So 3, we have to go through the multiples of 3. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, and we'll go through those. So these 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. That's where we're going to stop. And we have 15. So 15 times 1 would be 15. But look at this. We have two 15s on the screen right now. Well, technically 4. But in the common multiples, 3 times 5 is equal to 15, and 15 times 1 is equal to 15. So that is our first common multiple. So we don't have to go any more multiplication. That's where we stop with that. So then step number 2 is to divide the first common multiple, which is 15 in this case, by the smaller denominator, which is 3, because 3 is smaller than 15. So 15 divided by 3 is equal to, think about that for a second, 5. So step number 3 is to multiply the numerator and the denominator of the smaller fraction, which is 1/3, by the quotient from step 2, which is 5. So we have 1/3, you have to multiply it by 5. So what's 1 times 5? 5. And 3 times 5? 15. So our new fraction for 1/3 is 5/15. So then we have to add the bigger fraction and the new fraction. So our bigger fraction was 7/15 plus our new fraction, which is 5/15. So because our denominators are the same, we can cross them out just like what we did when they were in our last lesson. Cross them out and put the 15 on the denominator of the answer. And then we had just add 7 plus 5. And 7 plus 5 is 12. And then we have one last step before we can actually answer it. So we have to simplify the answer if possible. And 12/15 can be simplified. So let's think about that for a second. What do these numbers have in common? Can they be divided by any common factor? Think about it. What times what is equal to 12 and what times what is equal to 15? We can divide it by both of the sides by 3. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So our new answer, or our answer of 7/15 plus 1/3 is 4/5. All right, let's try one more problem. So we have 8/12 plus 2/4. We can't just add them up because their denominators are not the same right now. So we have to go through our steps. So step number 1 is to find the first common multiple. So go through your 4s. It'll be 4, 8, 12, 16. We're going to stop there. And what about our 12s? So 1 times 12 is 12. Oh, but look at this. Both of our multiples have 12 in it. So our first common multiple would be 12. So step number 2, divide the first common multiple, which is 12, by the smaller denominator, which is 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So then we have to multiply the numerator and denominator of the smaller fraction, which is 2 over 4, by the quotient from step 2, which is 3. So 2 over 4 times 3, so 2 times 3 is 6, and 4 times 3 is 12. So we have 6 over 12. So now we have to add the bigger fraction and the new fraction together. So 8 over 12 plus 6 over 12 is equal to, so look, our denominators are the same. So that means we do what with them? We can cross them out and just put a 12 in our answer. So then 8 plus 6 is equal to, do that for a second, be 14. And now we have to simplify our answer if possible. So both of 14 and 12 can be divided by something to make them smaller. By the same number, what would that number be? So think about your times tables. What are your factors for 14? What are your factors for 12? We know that both of them can be divided by 2. So let's divide them by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 14 divided by 2 is 7. So are we done now? Is this it? No. Remember, this is an improper fraction. We don't like improper fractions. We want to get rid of them. They are improper. We need them proper. So in order to do that, we have to create a mixed number. So remember before we would do our division, and then any remainder would become the extra. So 6 or 7 divided by 6, we'd only be able to get 1 6 into 7. And how many would be left over? 1. So that means we have 1 whole and 1 left over. So it'd be 1 and 1 over 6. So the answer of 8 over 12 plus 2 over 4 is 1 and 1 over 6. All right, grade 4, that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys need any help, you can reach out to me at any time. And if you want to look in your textbook, on page 266 is where they explain this lesson if you need more help. All right, goodbye, grade 4.